Here, we will talk about pros and cons of state transition diagram. As you might already know, state diagrams are used to give an abstract description of the behavior of a system. This behavior is analyzed and represented as a series of events that can occur in one or more possible states. Without this behavior, we won't be able to talk about state transition diagram. Pros of using state transition diagram are, first, it's ideal for describing the behavior of a single object. A state machine performs actions in response to explicit events. State diagrams are irreplaceable when describing systems and system behavior. For example, electronic components such as control units for driver assistance systems in vehicles. For these systems, permitted states are defined and visualized in state diagrams, as well as activities which are carried out in specific states or during the course of transitions. Second, state diagrams are the ideal way to model object life cycles. State diagrams enable you to describe the behavior of objects during their entire lifespan. In addition, the different states and state changes, as well as events causing transitions, can be described. In other words, state diagrams make the system behavior visible. Cons of using state transition diagram are: it is not the best at describing the behavior of multiple objects. As we talked about it previously in the pros, it is meant to describe the behavior of a single object. When describing the reactive system, for example, the system may include many reactive objects. It is hard to display multiple behaviors happening at the same time for this system. Recommendations. State transition diagrams are used to model the dynamic aspect of a system. However, it has some distinguishing characteristics for modeling the dynamic nature. State transition diagram defines the states of a component, and these state changes are dynamic in nature. Its specific purpose is to define the state changes triggered by events. Events are internal or external factors influencing the system. State transition diagrams are used to model the states and also the events operating on the system. When implementing a system, it is very important to clarify different states of an object during its lifetime, and state transition diagrams are used for this purpose. When these states and events are identified, they're used to model it, and these models are used during the implementation of the system. State diagrams should be used to model the object states of a system. When states of the object changes, it's easy to read and make it visible exactly how the state is changing depending on the behavior. Not only does it show the state of a part of the object, but it also shows the whole system, how it may behave depending on each behavior. Also, to model the reactive system. Reactive system consists of reactive objects. When certain behaviors happen, certain consequences and results follow along. State transition diagram helps users understand what these objects may result in or how they should react according to its behavior. And lastly, to identify the events responsible for state changes, it makes it easy to backtrack and pick out what behaviors are responsible for which state changes. Without this feature, it may be difficult to figure out exactly what is happening. As a software engineer/developer, it makes debugging a whole lot easier.